to spill the tea, Lou. And if it's your first time, extra special welcome to you. So, as it says in the comment, I've put into the chat right at the start, tonight's show is going to be interactive. And if so it's get your typing fingers at the ready teacup crew. So now, to be fair, I think all of our streams are pretty interactive. I do my best to read as many of your comments as possible, whether they agree with me or disagree with me. I do love to see them coming in. We had a fantastic, really super good interactive show earlier today, 12 p.m. Check it out if you didn't see it. We did come to actually a rather surprising conclusion, whether they agree with that video. However, I do love tonight's show is going to be super extra good interactive. I have a fun day planned for us. Well, I think it's going to be fun, but I mean, I would, so as I planned it, hopefully, you guys will think it's fun as well, and show is going to be fun. So we have an echo. Why would we have an echo? There we go. That should take care of the echo. Wonderful, because obviously hearing me once isn't enough. And you want to know what the best thing ever is? After I pressed go live, I checked was that sound going to come through, and you know what I saw? No, it won't, because it's not on, it's muted. But apparently it has turned itself off mute, which is excellent. Love it. YouTube forever testing my patience and your eardrums, obviously. Now let me do this. So I'm going to, first of all, say hi to you guys, and then just so you know what's going to happen in the show, because I don't normally tell you, I normally just leave you guessing, to be fair, which is very rude of me. But what we're going to do this evening, I'm going to speak a very small amount on Mo Salah, not a huge amount, maybe 10 minutes or so, because we covered it when it happened, to be fair. So there's not a lot that needs to be said on it. There's one or two things that I didn't mention when we talked about it initially that I do want to talk about this evening. After that then, what we're going to do is, I want us to look at the top 5 spots, because we went through the video for the coefficients. Essentially, England is going to have 5 places. The Premier League is going to have 5 places. So I want to look at the teams in contention for those 5 places. As we only have really a handful of matches left in the season, I want to look at the rest of those matches. We together will decide win, loss, draw, how many points they'll get from each. We'll tot them up at the end, and we are going to know before everybody else, because we're so good at our predictions, obviously, the best. That's why we're all millionaires from winning the lotto. We're going to tot them up and see who we believe with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games to go is going to finish in the top 5. So that will be fun. We will do it together. But first, the most important part of the show, I want to say hi to everybody. And I see the chat is popping off already. Nathan is in the house. He had his dinner good and early, so his fingers will be free for typing. Guess has a pot of tea at the ready, so she is going to be full of caffeine and energy. Mama Flossie is in the house. Ray, it is nice to see you. Ray was getting the echo. Everybody was getting the echo. Thank you guys for letting me know, because I wouldn't have had a clue. The whole stream would have been like that and I wouldn't have known. Harold is back in the house with us, and I know Harold loves a good prediction, so that'll be fun. We have Matthew in the house, big up to you. Sachin is back, he was loving the echo as well. Guess can only handle one loo at a time. Do you know what, Guess? I don't think anybody anywhere in this world can handle more than one loo at a time. I don't think it is a thing. Nathan thought the alcohol was getting to him when he was hearing me twice. Shem is in the house. Lovely, Shem. Hope you're having a good day. What do you think of Salah leaving for free? Last season, they could have gotten almost 100 million for him. And Shem, that brings me beautifully to the exact thing that I want to talk about. So when we reacted basically immediately to the fact that Mohamed Salah was going to be leaving Liverpool in the summer, we talked about him as a player, about the impact that it might have on his teammates, that it might have on the rest of their season, all of these different things. What we didn't talk about, and it's because I hadn't really clicked at the time because it was literally just after happening, was he's going to be leaving for free. And I find this very interesting. The reason I find this very interesting is because when Trent left for free, we had a melee. We had, he's a rat. Sure, do you not remember, wasn't it the graffiti that was drawn on his mural was he's a rat? Wasn't that what it said? We had people deep diving his Duolingo to see how long he had been learning Spanish. He was a traitor, he was this, he was that, they hate him, he's not one of us anymore, he's ridiculous. He got all sorts of abuse, all of the abuse. He's one of us, I can't believe it. All sorts. He got absolutely hammered from all directions. Mohamed Salah is now going to leave for free. I'm not hearing any of the same noises. It's incredible. Now we have Hero Salah. Oh my goodness. We love Salah. Salah has been fantastic. And the thing is, Salah has been fantastic. But it's a very different reaction to the same thing. A very good player who has been very loyal to your club, who would be considered one of you, leaving for free. Because Mohamed Salah still had a year left on his contract. Mohamed Salah would definitely fetch a fee. It's not as if nobody would want to buy Mohamed Salah. Clearly he has fallen off, but I don't believe that nobody would want to buy him. So the fact that the outcry, and I mean the outcry was insane, that we saw the torrent of hatred online for Trent. Mohamed Salah is getting none of this. And I do mean, I haven't seen anything at all. I've seen people, I didn't mute it, guys. I didn't mute it. I was doing so well. There we are. Now it's muted. So for me, my thing is, what's the difference? What is the difference? If you're a Liverpool fan, what's the difference? If you're a rival fan and you think you know what the difference is, get it in the chat and let us know. A player who has added a lot to your team, who's an important player, who could have fetched you a fee, going for free. His contract is not up. He could have been sold. He could have brought in a fee. Okay? And it looks very much like he's going on his own terms. I don't think he's being pushed out. I think he's not happy with how things have gone. And I think he's gone, do you know what? Sod that. And I think they've gone, we don't need the bad publicity. You've fallen off a cliff anyway. If you want to go, off you pop. I think the arrangement works for both, that the relationship ends now before it gets more and more toxic. What I don't understand is the difference in reaction that he's going for free when they could have had a fee. And I know I've repeated that a few times now, but I can't wrap my own head around why it's so different. Why is one of them a hero, one of them's a rat? Why is one of them, we wish you well in everything, and one of them, basically hope everything goes wrong and your career goes down the toilet, which is essentially what was said by a lot of them. Not everyone, obviously, but a lot. And I don't really see what's the difference. And nobody can come to me and be like, oh, well, Salah did more for us, he achieved more, blah, blah, blah. Trent was, the whole thing of the hatred for Trent was because he was one of you and he was born and bred and he was from there and he's, everything he's done from childhood. So that won't fly. That can't be the difference. So let me see what you guys are saying about it. And to be fair, Nathan is asking the same question. I have a question for the Liverpool fans. Since Salah is leaving for free despite being under contract, would they treat Salah the same way they treated Trent? Which is exactly what my question is as well. And it is a question because from the outside looking in, I don't see the difference. but maybe there is. Maybe there is one for Liverpool fans. Ray says he should join Everton. Let me see. Huge is in the house. I didn't see you sneak in there. And Huge is saying, Pogba leaving us on a free hurt me more than Casemiro leaving us for free this summer. Yes. I think for me, the reason it bugged me with Pogba was because it wasn't once, it was twice. We didn't get much out of him while he was here. And then it was embarrassing because of how badly we had handled it. It was really embarrassing. I didn't put it on Pogba, though. Like, I didn't hate Pogba. It was the club. I blamed the club. The club mismanaged it. The club dealt with it badly. The club just... disaster. But I mean, how do you lose a player on a free? Not once, but twice, the same player. So yeah, I agree. I feel like I think definitely Pogba bothered me more than Casemiro. But also I feel like we've got a return on our investment in Casemiro. With Pogba, it always felt like we didn't get enough out of him. He's a very, very talented player. He's obviously got personal troubles. His family are a bit nuts and all. But I feel like by the end, we've gotten our money's worth out of Casemiro. I never felt like that with Paul Pogba, and the fact that we did it twice was just ridiculous. But that was on the club, not on the player. Shem is saying, yep, the way they treated Trent was disgusting. A kid that had been there all his footballing life and just wanted to try something new. Sachin, I saw Sachin. Where is he? I've scrolled too far, guys. I have to stop doing this. The scroller just goes wild on the evening time shows. It doesn't do this in the afternoons, but on the nighttime shows it goes crazy. Sachin says, a Scouse kid left the team at arguably his peak, versus a foreign player leaves after looking massively washed and potentially saves massive wages. So that is a slightly different, I suppose, viewpoint. It's a different angle on it. So when Trent left, he was at his peak. Salah is leaving when really he's already on the way out. Really, he's leaving before the football leaves him. Really, it's only going to get worse from here. So is it a case that they only care because they can't get more out of him? Like, they felt, and this is a guess, I'm not saying this is a fact, this is a theory. They felt that they were losing something with Trent, a potential, a future, like that he was arguably at his peak. Whereas with Salah, it's goodbye. He's on the way out, he's on the wind down. They're not really losing anything other than his massive, massive wages. So that will colour it. I agree with Sachin. I do think that colours it. When you lose somebody at their peak versus somebody who's really done and dusted, and again, you draw the comparison with Pogba and Casemiro, it's probably not exactly what I was saying, but it's a similar thought process. There was more to be gotten out of Trent. You could have gotten more from him. There's not much left to get out of Salah, so there's no downside to him leaving. So I think that is a good point, and I think that probably does skew it. But I still think they could have got a fee from him. I agree with the point, but I do still think they could have got a fee from him, and I do still think maybe not exactly the same energy, but the same ballpark probably should, like the way Trent was treated should probably be in the back of their minds. Do you know what I mean? Rob has rejoined us in the Teacup crew, gang, so make sure you say hello to Rob. Let me see. Ray says Trent never got close to legend status. So even though he'd spent his whole life at the club, even though he was a Scouser, a Scouse kid who come up through the ranks, even though he was arguably at his peak and there was more to get from him, he was never a legend. He was never on the level of a Salah. So it feels like with Salah, and I suppose again this goes back, and this is why sometimes we relate it to our own club and our own players, because it starts to make sense then. So while you potentially could have gotten more out of Trent, he was never a legend. Whereas the same with Pogba. Pogba was an incredibly talented player. We definitely could have gotten more out of him. He was arguably at his peak. He never had the aura, the status of a Casemiro. So while we haven't got Casemiro at his peak, while there's nothing left to get out of him, while it probably is time for it to end, he leaves us having given us a feeling, having added something that maybe Pogba didn't. And it's that aura. And again, it's kind of the legend status of Salah. Everything he's done and given to Liverpool, maybe he's earned just a clean break if he wants to go. Whereas Trent never really had that status. Even his talent was always questioned. So again, another good point. When it's a legend, you wish them well. You want what's best for them. When it's somebody that you feel maybe they were around but they weren't like up here, it's different. It's easier to dislike them and their decisions. So that's true too. It's harder to dislike somebody who's done so much for you, who reaches that legend status for your club. Another great point there. We've got some good ones coming in. Huge is saying, I think it's more like you can still give more and still help the team grow, whereas Salah has given his best and now can't do more for the team. So that's it's all kind of different sides to the same coin we're getting there, but it is sort of the ballpark of the argument. Harold is showing his Manchester United fan in him, and he is saying it's Liverpool fans making sense would be an oxymoron. Don't tell us how you really feel. But Boffman is in the house. Hello. Rob is saying 400k a week is ridiculous. That it is. That is an insane amount of money. I do feel like a lot of the fans were happy to give it for what he was providing. However, he's no longer providing that, and potentially the owner and the board are no longer happy for him to have that money because he's not earning it now. Like, you can't argue last season he didn't earn that. Do you know what I mean? With the money he earned them through his performances. This season he's nowhere near, and next season it's likely going to be even worse. So 400k is just it's a crazy amount of money. Absolutely insane. Let me see. Sachin, compare Rashford if he left for free versus Casemiro. You would probably have similar feelings. To be fair, Sachin, and it's a very good point. I'm not arguing the point with you. I'm probably the wrong United fan for that one. And the reason I say I'm probably the wrong United fan for that one is I don't like Marcus Rashford. And the reason I don't like Marcus Rashford, and maybe you're right in a way, the reason I don't like Marcus Rashford is because I thought his attitude towards the end stank. It stank. He walked around the place. He was drinking in other countries instead of turning up to training. He could not have cared less. He was switched off. He was tuned out. He was disrespecting the fans with that behaviour. Forget the club, forget the owners, forget everything else. He was disrespecting the fans with that behaviour. And it's not good enough from any player. I understand the comparison. I think it's a very good comparison, but I'm probably the wrong fan. If you had asked me a few years ago, probably, because obviously Marcus Rashford he was fantastic, but it just all went wrong. And I think by the time he left, I'd have been more than happy to see him go for free. Like, see if Barcelona said, we'll take him this summer, but we're not paying you that. I'd be like, all right, like, bye, just go. Now, I'm giving you a heads up. We might get to the summer and Barcelona are going to try and haggle with us, and I'm going to be like, no, pay us the money. That's not about Marcus Rashford. That's about Barcelona thinking that they can haggle when we've already given them a very good price for him. So yes, I'm going to be a hypocrite, but that's what being a fan is sometimes. All your opinions don't have to agree with each other. So I'm warning you now, in the summer I'm probably going to contradict myself. But Marcus Rashford, I just feel like it's a really complicated one, because of how it was before he left the club. Now, I wouldn't put him anywhere near like Garnacho and Sancho, because there was more love there before it all went wrong. For Rashford, And I suppose time changes things. I'm not as mad at him as I was when it was all happening at the time. But yeah, I understand what you mean in terms of the comparison. The Mr. Arsenal podcast is in the house. Good evening, good evening. Trent was one of their own, won it all, but not a legend. Come on, have a day off. Mr. Arsenal podcast, I have never ever heard a single Liverpool fan refer to Trent as a legend. So I don't propose to overrule another fan base about one of their players. So it's not about me having a day off. It's not about me not thinking he's a legend. It's not my place to say. Because I wouldn't accept anybody from another fan base coming to me and saying X player is or is not a legend of Man United. My response to that would be stay in your lane. You can think they're good, you can rate them, you can think they're bad, etc., but it's not your place to say who's a legend of another team. Also, I never have a bloody day off. I could only dream of a day off, my dear. So yes, I understand your point. He's one of their own, he's a Scouse born and bred, he grew up with them, he won everything with them, how could he not be a legend? I understand your point. But it's not about whether I think he was a legend for Liverpool. I've never, ever heard a Liverpool fan refer to him as a legend, even before they fell out with him, even when he was still there. I never heard that. So I'm not going to now throw it at them. If I'd heard it, I'd be like, all right, he was a legend before and now he's not. And I'd be like, right, fair. But I've never heard that personally. So I'm not going to throw it at them. Let me see. What else are we saying? Nathan is saying, God, we're giving it to the Scousers this evening. Poor Jenny, if she's in the chat. I hope she doesn't feel afraid to say hello to people. The Scousers hate selectively. Let's just say that and move on. So much for calling themselves a morally superior fan base. To be fair, I do think if you consider yourself or if you carry yourself or if you sort of intimate that you are morally superior, I do feel that then it's open season and it encourages rivals when things like this happen to take the mickey a wee bit. Roddy is in the house. Hello, my friend. It is nice to see you back with us. Let me see. What else are we saying? Sachin is saying, I like how they saw Kevin De Bruyne fall off last season and decided to give Salah 400k per week. Shambolic management and the following transfer window. And to be fair, that very much sounds more like something a Manchester United would do rather than Liverpool. And I agree with you, it is a sign of bad management. And I would be concerned if I was a Liverpool fan over bad decisions like that. Both Ray and Roddy saying Rashford ended up being one of the bad eggs, unfortunately. Sachin is clarifying he meant Rashford from like a few years ago, and that's fair, and that's what I mean. If it was Rashford a few years ago before all the kind of badness seeped into the relationship, yeah, then I would fully agree with you. I take your point. Let me see. Huge is saying, I believe Trent did let them down, but I don't get how they don't give Gerrard the same shit for wanting to leave for Chelsea. That is much worse. It is much worse, and I believe the only reason he doesn't get more of it is because it fell through and never happened. That's the only reason I think. Let me see. Some of you are scheming on how to get 400k a week. If you figure it out, let me know, guys. I want in on that plan. Harold is saying clubs and players don't owe each other anything other than respecting and fulfilling their contracts to each other. And that is true. That by rights is correct and right and true. However, I do feel in years gone by there was a different kind of loyalty. So for example, and again I'm going to use a United example because that's what I'm the most familiar with, but I'm sure there's many from your own teams. For me, when United were struggling and Paul Scholes had already retired and he got the call, will you please come out of retirement and help us? We're buggerooed. And this man came out of retirement to help us. That's a loyalty. You know, it's the kind of thing you don't see anymore. Like the Harry Kanes, like the Mohamed Salahs. The players that play like a professional lifetime at a single club almost. They just don't really exist anymore. So you're right, Harold, they don't owe each other anything, but in times gone by it would have been implicit, it would have been expected, but in the modern era it's just not the thing. So I completely agree. Let me see. What else are we saying? Right, where are we? Roddy, excellent point. Reminding everybody to please hit that like button, ladies and gents. Please do. Please subscribe, guys. We're like 33 subscribers or something away from 500. We're only 33 away. We are so close we could lick it. So please, if you know anybody, if you have anybody in your family that you can just subscribe on their account, you don't even have to tell them. It's free. You're not going to cost them anything. Please do. I would very much appreciate it. And the last one on the subject, before we have a little bit of fun. Rob Always United is saying, I feel a bit sad about Salah. He was such a great. I have a lot of respect for him. And I have to say I agree with Rob, and I said this in the initial reaction. As a United fan, I'm over the bloody moon. I think it's fantastic, okay? I'd feel the same if Erling Haaland went, or any of the others that, you know, are a threat to my club. Get it gone. But I do also feel, just as a football fan, do you know, when you've seen someone's career unfold before you, when you've watched their career happen, I do find it a little bit sad. And to be fair, I think the music on the video, which by the way got me bloody copyrighted again from playing, because it wasn't what he said. Remember I played the video for you guys so you could all hear it? Whatever music he had in the background got me bloody copyrighted. Swear to God, every time I do anything on this, they just copyright me. And I'm like, which is ever, just give me a break, lads. But, yeah, so I think the music probably made it a bit sadder as well. And I've already told you, like, I cry at the Andrex puppy ads. I cry at the is it Carl Lewis, Chris Lewis, whatever them Lewis Christmas ads are. They make me cry. When the people in the ads get splashed with a puddle, I cry. When it's like a happy ending, I cry. All the time. Happy tears, sad tears, all the tears. So yeah. Flossie saying you got to be careful with music, Lou. You're correct, Flossie. The thing is, I didn't add the music. He did, and he was talking over it, so I thought, right, well, he's obviously used some sort of generic music on his video. It's not going to be copyrighted music. Not. You're correct, Flossie. He didn't think it through for all of us YouTube people. Ridiculous. Do you know what? I've thought about it. It's not sad anymore because he did me in. Sachin is saying, the only player I felt sad for leaving the Premier League was actually David Silva. He did not even get a proper farewell due to COVID. That's fair, and to be fair, David De Gea never got a proper goodbye. Not because of COVID, but because our club sent him on his summer holidays saying, see you at the end of your holidays for pre-season. And then while he was on holidays, we told him, actually, we've cleared out your locker, don't come back. So he also never really got a farewell, and he was sensational, absolutely sensational. And he was certainly a legend of Manchester United, a modern day legend, which I do think is a different standard. But yeah, so I understand that thought process, Sachin, people who never got to say goodbye due to whatever reason, but particularly the likes of COVID that was so against or outside of everybody's control. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, 100%. And Flossie is saying he was treated really poorly. He really was. It's an embarrassment for our club how badly he was treated. Absolutely. But guys, that is enough of that serious talk. That is enough. We're done. We've talked about Salah. We've talked about the freeness. We've been very balanced. We've talked about, we've talked about all the things about Salah and what we know about so far, basically. So I want to play the game. I love a game. I do enjoy a game, okay? So what I have done, let me share my screen so you can see, okay? Hopefully you can see, because if I zoom it anymore, I lose a column. So what I've done is I've gone to the Premier League standings. Obviously, Arsenal and City are going to finish 1 and 2 in whichever order you like, okay? I believe Man United are going to finish in the top 5 securely. However, if I'm going to put Aston Villa in jeopardy when they're on 54 points, I probably do have to put Man United in on 55 points. So I've taken United, Villa, Liverpool, Chelsea and Brentford. So I've gone 3 to 7 and we're going to look at all of their games for the rest of the season. We're going to tot up what points we think they're going to get. And then we're going to see, by our calculations, who is going to finish 3rd, 4th and 5th in the Premier League and who is going to miss out on some spots. Now, guys, this is only going to work if you guys get really interactive with me, because otherwise it's just going to be me predicting. And I mean, that's going to be boring for you guys to watch, and it's also going to be very inaccurate because I am the worst prediction person ever. Like, honestly, you guys have seen me this season. I am the worst at predictions. So let's start with Manchester United, okay? Manchester United is currently on 55 points, okay? Our next match for Manchester United is on the 13th of April, by the way, people, because we're out of all the other competitions because we're terrible at our jobs. But Manchester United's next match is going to be against Leeds, and Manchester United is at home. Now, I don't want a score prediction. I want to know, do you think United will win, United will draw, or United will lose? So just put W for win, D for draw, or L for loss, or you can type the full word out and let me know what you think win, draw, loss for Man United at home against Leeds. What do we think, people? As I said, this will only work if you guys get involved with me. If you don't get involved, the whole thing is pointless. It's not going to work. So, get your fingers out, please, and get typing. I have, let me see. We have Huge is saying a draw. We have Sachin saying a draw. Roddy is going all wins. So that puts Roddy in. Guess is chatting to Nathan, but neither Nathan nor Guess have given us a prediction for the match. So guys, Shem reckons that United will win. And while I'm waiting for everybody else to get their predictions, let me see. What do I think? I think that could be a draw. I reckon I would go for a draw as well. Guess is hoping for a win. Rob Always United is saying draw. So I feel like draw is the majority result there. So let's just say that is 1 point for Man United from that one, okay? Then we go to game week 33. Man United will play Chelsea. Man United are going to be away, okay? So Man United against Chelsea away from home. Do we think it's a win, draw, loss for Man United? Win, draw, loss against Chelsea away from home. What do I think? While you guys are getting your guesses in, what do I think? What do I think? I think Chelsea have hit a bit of a bad run, haven't they? They're in a little bit of trouble. I think United. Let's go with United. So, what are you guys saying for this one? Nathan is saying win United. Roddy is saying win. Huge is saying Yarrow and Heaven as the centre backs. Can't trust us there. Sachin is saying win. Rob Always United is saying win. Guess is saying maybe a draw. So, I and Huge is saying win. Chelsea are due a red and we are playing a lot against 10 men recently. Okay, so let's go with 3 points on that one, okay? Then we go to the next one. Man United at home against Brentford. So Man United at home against Brentford. Win, draw, loss from Manchester United. Brentford are having a very good season. I believe at that point, we'll definitely have Harry Maguire back because his ban is only one match. Martinez might be back, although it's hard to know with our bloody players. Brentford is a tough opposition. I'm trying not to look at your chats while I'm deciding, and then I'm going to look at what you guys are all saying because I don't want to be swayed. Obviously, your heart always wants to say Man United win, but I think Brentford are a really good team this season. I think we might lose that. Because I don't want to set us up for failure either. Do you know, I don't want to go crazy. I think Man United could lose that one. Even at home, I think we could lose that one. But let me see what you guys are saying because you might all think I'm crazy. So, Sachin is saying a draw. What else? Sorry, I scrolled too far, guys. Sorry. Rob is saying win. Roddy is saying win. Huge is saying draw. Nathan is saying easy win. Roddy is saying win. Rob Always United is saying a hard fought close win. Nathan has gone so far as to tell us who the goal scorers are even going to be. But I'll tell you what, win seems to be the majority. So let's go with 3 points there. Then we move to the next. Man United at home against Liverpool. Liverpool, who has just found out Mohamed Salah is going to be leaving in the summer, and rumours are rife that they are going to be keeping Arne Slot. So Liverpool emotionally are going to be a wee bit all over the place. I think at home against this Liverpool that is just emotionally all over the place, I think United beat Liverpool. I know. I think we lose to Brentford, but we beat Liverpool. What kind of a season is this? So get it into the chat, people. Win, draw, loss from Manchester United against Liverpool at home. Now, Sachin is saying loss because Liverpool would be out of the Champions League by then. Guess is saying we are effing winning. Nathan says Liverpool win even if our players are blindfolded. Huge is saying win. We can't lose against them lot. And Rob Always United is saying win. Well, that one was fairly unanimous, people. That one was fairly unanimous. So there's the 3 points. Okay. Then we go to game week 36. Man United against Sunderland away from home. So win, draw, loss for Manchester United against Sunderland away from home. So get it into the chat. Just on the last one, Ray had said loss, and Roddy joined us late there at the end of it saying draw. So this one now gets started on Sunderland, Man United, away from home. I reckon we win that one. Now, like I said, I think we're going to draw Leeds. I reckon we could even lose to Brentford. I have us winning against Chelsea and Liverpool. I also reckon we beat Sunderland. So let me know what you guys are thinking for that one. Roddy is saying win. Sachin is saying loss. Interesting. Rob Always United is saying draw. Nathan is saying win. And Huge is saying loss because just typical United things. So that one's the most mixed one we have had so far, which is really, really interesting. And you're right, it is just United things. Sachin is saying, Sunderland have only lost to Liverpool at home this season. I thought it was Arsenal. Was it not Arsenal? Maybe I'm wrong, Sachin. Maybe it was Liverpool. I thought Arsenal were the only team to beat them at home this season, but I might be wrong. Was it that Arsenal was the only other team unbeaten at home and then Liverpool beat them? Maybe that's what it was. I might be mixing myself up. But yeah, that is a good point. But let me see. What is the unanimous? Okay, so we have a win and a win. So we've 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 3 wins, 2 losses and a draw. 3 wins, 3 losses and a draw. Right, so we've 3 wins, 3. Flossie, you are the tiebreaker. I have 3 wins and I have 3 losses for Man United on this one. So do you think it will be a win or a loss for Man United when we play Sunderland? Sachin is saying no, Arsenal and City didn't win. Okay, so it was Arsenal was the only other team that was unbeaten at home. That's fair. Harold reckons a draw on this one. Interesting, which to be fair, given like what Sachin's point is about Sunderland at home, that is also possible. So we've 2 draws, 3 wins, 3 losses. That is how it stands. And Flossie has broken the tie by going with a win. So, let me see. Harold, you're not counting me. You didn't count me there. Then the next one. Man United against Forest. Man United are at home. Forest will still, I would imagine, be fighting not to be relegated. So, that could be an interesting match. Depending how the land lies at that point of the season, that could be a really, really, really tough match. Man United at home against Nottingham Forest. United fighting for Champions League football. Forest fighting for survival. Let me know, guys. Win, draw, loss for Man United against Forest. Jonathan wants to know if Mama Flossie is a forever Geordie. That she is, my dear. That she is. Nathan is saying draw. Ray Ray thinks United will lose. Shem is saying once we don't get 5 in a row, he doesn't mind. Guess is saying United win. Harold is saying Forest win. Roddy is saying United win. Rob is saying United win. Let me see. Okay, so we have a draw, a loss, a win, a loss, a win, another win. Okay, so that leaves 3 wins. Okay, so lads, I don't know how to tell you this. We're not going to win all of these. Like, imagine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Imagine in the final run of the season, we win 5 in a row and that guy gets his haircut. That would be very interesting. I think we're being way optimistic here. I don't think United are going to win all these, but I mean, let's go with it. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, so the last one. Brighton, Man United, away from home, the end of the season. I think we win this one. I don't know, did I say what I think for the Forest one? I think the Forest one could end up being a draw. So my points would be a little bit different than what you guys are predicting. But so I thought draw, win, loss, win, 10, 11. I have us on 14 points. You guys are a little bit more optimistic than that, and I'm being optimistic. But let me know, Brighton, Man United, last game of the season, Man United away from home, what do we reckon? Win, draw, loss, Man United. Get it in the chat for me, please. Dun, dun, dun. Rob Always United says win. Sachin says it depends if they're on the beach. It could be a win, otherwise a loss. That's fair. Ray, same thing as Sachin, a win. Brighton will be on early holiday. What else are we saying? Huge is saying win. Roddy is saying win. Brighton last day by the seaside. Nathan saying Brighton win with some sad faces. Mama Flossie says win. Harold says third secured, good win, 3-1. Guess says we're winning. So you guys reckon we're not only going to do 5 in a row, but 6, which is incredible. So let me just put in, where is the equals button on? There we are. Oh, that's not what I want. Equals some bracket this to this. No, dude, that's not what I wanted. Undo here. Sorry guys, I have to just talk to myself while I do this, otherwise I will make a boo-boo. Excellent, and it's spelled it all in. Good stuff. So according to you guys, we're going to finish on 74 points. I reckon it's probably going to be closer to like 68, I think. But we'll go with it. So let's go for the next one. Who is the next team? Aston Villa is the next team. So Aston Villa currently on 54 points. Ray is saying no delusion in the predictions at all. Easy 6 wins on the bounce. There is 100% delusion there, and I would just like to say these are not my predictions. These are the outright predictions by unanimous decision in the chat. Okay, I reckon it's going to be closer to kind of 68. Huge reckons 66. But sure look, we'll see what happens. Let's go to Villa, and we only want the Premier League. So let's buzz through these, because I know when you're doing it over and over, it can get a wee bit boring. So let's go. Oh, when is Tielemans back? Let's have a look. I think it was mid-April he was back. When is Tielemans due back? Yeah, that's what I said. He was already back. Second half substitute against their last match 2 days ago. Tielemans only just returned to training on Friday after a spell out before featuring in the win against West Ham. So Tielemans is back. Tielemans is already back. Okay, so Forest Villa. Away from home. Win, draw, loss. Get it in the chat, people. Get it in the chat. I reckon that is a loss. I reckon that's a loss for Villa. But let me see what you guys are saying, because we're doing this for 5 teams and we don't want to be here for 3 hours. So let us see. What do we think? Let's like quick fire. Just win, draw, loss. Villa against Forest. Sachin says win. Rob says win. Nathan says draw. Come on, guys. Fastest finger first. I know you can do it. I know you guys can type faster than this. I've seen it. Harold is saying loss. Roddy is saying draw. Huge is saying win. I also reckon a loss. But that, and another draw. So we have 3 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses. Jonathan is the deciding vote and says win. So that gives 3 points. Excellent. And Shem and Flossie. Boom. So that's definitely a win. Now, Aston Villa against Sunderland. Aston Villa are at home against Sunderland. Win, draw, loss. Let's go. Roddy, it won't be 30 minutes, it'll be 30 hours the way I go. I'll just keep talking. We'll just have a great old catch up. We'll talk about the facts of life. Aston Villa, Sunderland, win, draw, loss. I think they can win that one. I think Forest beat them, but I think Villa win that one. Huge is in, he's saying draw. Sachin is saying win. Shem is saying draw. Rob is saying win. Roddy's saying loss. Interesting. Harold is saying win. So we've two draws, 2 wins, 3 wins, 2 losses. Okay, we're on. Win is the bigger one so far. Nathan is saying a loss. That's 2 losses. Another loss. Roddy. It's not another loss. It's Roddy. It's Roddy again. Roddy would like to double up the loss counter. Right. So, draw. Jonathan is also saying win. That leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, and me is 5 wins. Flossie is saying win as well. Okay, it is unanimous. 3 points. Okay. Next up, Aston Villa Fulham. That's going to be tricky. That's going to be real tricky. Aston Villa Fulham away from home. Aston Villa Fulham away from home. Win, draw, loss for Aston Villa, people. What do we think? Win, draw, loss. Nathan is saying loss. Jonathan is saying loss. Sachin is saying draw. Huge is saying loss. Shem is saying win. I would probably go for loss on this one. Rob is saying Roddy has gone rogue. Yes, he has. Ray is saying loss. Roddy reckons Fulham will win, so therefore Villa will lose. Harold is saying loss. Rob Always United is saying loss. Okay, that is unanimously a loss. So they're getting 0 points on that one. Then we are... Oh, this one. Oh dear. This one's going to be rough. Aston Villa, Spurs. Jesus. Aston Villa, Spurs. Aston Villa's at home. Ooh. I reckon Spurs win, so I think that's going to be a loss for Villa. I think, but I mean that one could go any way at all. So get your thoughts in, people. Win, loss, draw for Villa against Spurs. So Flossie is saying Roddy is always rogue. That's true. This is fact correct. Let me see. Ray is saying win for Villa on that one. Jonathan is saying loss for Spurs, therefore win for Villa. Nathan is saying win. Sachin is saying win. Huge is saying draw. Rob is saying a huge win. Shem is saying it's going to be a Spursy win. Roddy reckons Spurs win, therefore Villa lose. Villa lose. Okay, so it seems to be a win for Villa on that one. I reckon they're going to lose, but I will go with the gang. Aston Villa, Burnley. Now, depending how other matches have gone until that point, Burnley might be trying to claw their way out of relegation. They might have a lot to fight for, or they may already be relegated mathematically and they may not have any fight at all. So that one could be really interesting, and it probably does depend on things that we don't really know. So we're going to have to give it our best guess. Aston Villa away to Burnley. Win, draw, loss for Aston Villa on that one. I reckon if Burnley have a chance of getting out of relegation... that could be rough. That could be a draw. But let me see what you guys are saying. Huge is going with me. Huge is saying draw. Sachin says win. Jonathan says win. Roddy says draw. Shem says draw. Rob says draw. Ray says draw. And Harold says draw. That one feels like a draw. It does. It just has a draw written all over it. Then we go to Aston Villa, Liverpool. Now I think this is the second last game of the season. It will also be Liverpool's second last game of the season. It is going to be Salah saying goodbye. I think this is all going to be full of emotion. I think Liverpool beat Aston Villa. But Liverpool, Aston Villa. Villa is at home. Win, draw, loss for Villa, guys. Win, draw, loss for Villa. Right, guys. I'm going to start with Sachin because I don't know where we stopped and started. So I'm going to start from Sachin. Sachin saying draw. So if you went before that, go after it again. So Sachin is saying draw. Huge is saying loss. Shem is saying win. Ray is saying loss for Villa. Roddy is saying loss. Rob is saying draw. Jonathan, loss for Villa. Harold is saying draw. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so the draw was between draw between Villa and Spurs. No, for Liverpool. Right, okay. Oh, right, yeah, okay. I was so confused there for a minute. Sorry, right, okay. So, we have draw, loss, win, loss. So, 2, 3, 3, 2, 4, 2, 4, 3. 4-3. So we have 4 losses, 3 draws, and I reckon a loss as well. So they're getting 0 point for that one. And the last one, Man City, Villa. Last game of the season, City are at home. I mean, City are going to beat Villa. That's a loss for Villa, if you're asking me. Let me know what you guys think. Win, draw, loss for Aston Villa against Man City. Last game of the season, Man City are at home. So, Jonathan reckons a loss for Villa. I also reckon a loss for Villa. Sachin reckons loss. Shem reckons loss. Rob, loss. Huge loss. Oh, Nathan, loss. Yeah. Roddy, loss. I mean, yeah, that's 0 point as well. So we're not giving them boys much hope. 64. Although, to be fair, if we lose some of our hopeful results, that could be tighter than we expect. But yeah. And Ray was saying a win for Villa in that one. So obviously the Arsenal is coming out there on Ray. But let's go Liverpool. Wherefore art thou, Liverpool? Now, we've already done some of Liverpool's results because we have said we want the Premier League. We have said Man United, Liverpool, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We have said, apparently, that 1, 2, 3, 4. We have said United are going to win that. Therefore, Liverpool have to lose it, which I'm not mad on that one. We have also said that Aston Villa are going to lose, which means that's 3 points for Liverpool. So we've already actually decided 2 of them ones. So let's do the ones we haven't done. Liverpool versus Fulham at home. This is their next match. It'll be their first Premier League match since the announcement that Salah is going to be leaving. So it's whether it galvanises the troops and gives them a bit of a lift till the end of the season or not, basically. So, win, draw, loss for Liverpool at home against Fulham. No, Nathan, I can't. Jonathan is saying win. Huge is saying draw. Sachin is saying draw. Shem is saying win. Nathan is saying loss. Flossie is saying win. Rob is saying draw. Ray is saying win. I also think a win. So that's 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3. And Harold is in at the end with a loss. So that is 5 wins. So they're getting, and Roddy is saying a draw. That's 5-4. So we are still 1 in favour of a win, but only just. What have they got next? Liverpool, Everton. Everton are at home. Liverpool, therefore, obviously are away, people, because that's how the football works. So, what do we think? Everton, Liverpool. Liverpool win, win, draw or loss against Everton. And Huge is saying people do have to remember they play the Champions League mid-week. So, Roddy is saying draw. Jonathan is saying loss. Roddy is saying loss. Sachin is saying loss. Huge is saying loss. Nathan is saying loss. Harold is saying loss. Rob is saying loss. Ray is saying win. Fushy Corner TV is saying draw. I probably would go with a loss there as well, to be fair. I do think that feels a little bit unanimous. That feels a little bit unanimous. Okay, so the unanimous, and I will note there are some dissenters, but the overall result was win. That brings us to Liverpool against Crystal Palace. Wait, we've said loss, and I've given them 3 points. VAR review on Lou. So let's go back, because I apparently don't know many points go for a draw or a loss or a win. Liverpool, Crystal Palace. Liverpool are at home. Win, draw, loss. Liverpool at home against Crystal Palace. I reckon Liverpool win that one. I reckon Liverpool win that one. What do we reckon? Nathan is a theme here, and he reckons that Liverpool are going to lose that one. Rob is saying draw. Jonathan is saying win. Ray is saying win. Huge is saying loss. Roddy is saying draw. This one's really mixed. Really mixed, people. Oh, this is interesting. Very, very mixed. Okay, so I said Harold is saying saved by VAR, they will win. Sachin is saying win as well. Let me see. Okay, so I said win. Nathan said loss. Then we had draw, another win, 3 wins. 3 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws. And 4 win, 5. Okay, we have a win, which is 3 points. And then that brings us, because we've already done the Man United one, Liverpool, Chelsea. Liverpool, Chelsea. Liverpool are at home. Liverpool win, draw, loss at home against Chelsea. Win, draw, loss for Liverpool at home against Chelsea. I reckon Liverpool win that one. I reckon Liverpool win. Shem is saying win. Huge is saying win. Nathan is saying both are stinky. A draw. Jonathan says win. Sachin says win. Roddy says loss. And Rob says loss. Ray says win. Harold says draw. And Jonathan is saying Chelsea are shaky. That they are. Well, that makes it, while there are some dissenters, that does make it unanimously a win. We do have some dissenters. Actually, the United crowd, loss, draw. But overall, win is the outcome. So far as it stands, United would be keeping their position in third, followed by Villa, followed by Liverpool. So nothing is changing so far, guys, according to this. Now let's do Chelsea. We will already know some of Chelsea's results because we've already done them. They're all playing each other. We only want the Premier League. So what did we put for Man United against Chelsea? Of course we put United to win, which means Chelsea are getting 0 pointos for that one. Who else are they playing out of this lot? We have put Liverpool against Chelsea. What have we put for Liverpool against Chelsea? Oh, do you know what we did, lads? I'm a silly sausage. Huge, you're correct. We missed the Brentford game. Guys, I got so excited, I ran ahead with myself. And I forgot to do Liverpool, Brentford. I'm a dope. Where have they gone? Liverpool, Brentford. I want to see, was that at home? Silly me. Good shout, because I just had moved on. I was over it. Liverpool at home against Brentford. Win, draw, loss for Liverpool. Thank you guys for that. Apologies, that was my fault. My fault completely. So I'm going to start at Huge here, okay? So we don't get them mixed up. Totally my fault. So Huge is saying Brentford to beat Liverpool in the last game of the season. Let me know what else you guys are saying. So Harold is saying loss. So far we have 2 losses. Draw from Rob, win from Roddy, loss for Sachin, win for Ray. You're right, Nathan, it was the technology, nothing to do with me. I also think Brentford will win this. Ray, easy 7 wins on the bounce for Liverpool. Sure, they're just flying, lads. I tell you what, we're very generous with some of these scores. Nathan is saying Brentford to win, so obviously Liverpool lost. So let me see, what are we working out at there? And Jonathan also said win. Okay, so let's count them up. So loss, draw, win, another loss, another win, 3, 2, 4, 2, 4, 3, 5, 3. Okay. Win. I would like to note, I think they're going to lose that one. So yeah, that would actually draw them level with Villa. I think we've been very generous with some of these. I think we have been incredibly generous. Very, very, very generous we have been. So sorry. My apologies. Now we go to Chelsea. And we put, sorry guys, I lost the run of myself entirely. And we put Liverpool against Chelsea. We put 1, 2, 3. We put Liverpool, we're going to win, which means Chelsea. So the 2 games we've already predicted for Chelsea, they're losing. Harold is saying there will be lots of draws towards the end of the season. I agree. I think, do you know what? It's a bit of fun. We'll see how far we off. I'm going to save this because this is just an Excel sheet. So I'm going to save it and we'll see how far off we were at the end of the season. But so, Chelsea City. We have finally made it to Chelsea City. So, what do we reckon? Win, draw, loss for Chelsea against Manchester City. Roddy is saying draw. Ray is saying Chelsea 7 losses on the bounce. I reckon they will lose to City. I do reckon they will lose to City. I think City are going to be feeling themselves a bit after the cup win. Sachin says loss. So far we have Roddy saying draw, Ray saying loss, Sachin saying loss, me saying loss, Huge is saying loss. He reckons it's going to be 6-1 to City. Rob is saying loss in a big way. Nathan is saying Chelsea L. I hope Kai from behind the dugouts is not watching the stream right now. He's going to be sad. We're going to break his little heart. But nil point. So we've been so optimistic for all of the other teams. We've been like win. We get to Chelsea, loss. We're very mean. We're very, very mean people. To be fair, Harold is saying a draw. Harold's predictions of late have been excellent, so don't count him out. We've already done the Chelsea Man United one when we did Man United, which brings us to Chelsea against Brighton away from home. Win, draw, loss. Chelsea away from home against Brighton. What do we think of this one, people? I actually think Chelsea will win that one because I think Brighton have been shaky. Hertzler almost got sacked. Then they had a win or two with a few little matches. They've been very wobbly. I reckon Chelsea might win that one against Brighton. Nathan telling the chat not to be biased, but he agrees with all of their opinions. Rob is saying loss. Nathan is saying loss. Roddy is saying loss. Shem is saying loss. Lads, we're not feeling good. Ray is saying loss. No chance. Rosenio sacked. Huge is saying bland Brighton against spicy Brighton. A tough draw. Oh, yous make me laugh so much. Yous do. Harold's with me. Harold reckons they'll win this one. Thank you, Harold. Sachin is also saying a loss. Myself and Harold have been completely outvoted. Another loss for Chelsea, apparently. I'm not laughing at Chelsea. I'm just laughing. Yous do make me laugh. Yous really do. Chelsea Forest. The same Forest that are fighting for their Premier League survival. Win, draw, loss for Chelsea against Forest at home. What do I think? I think they're either going to lose or draw that one. Do you know what? I'll say draw. I'll go with draw for that one because I don't feel like we've said enough draws so far. Shem is saying no sack for Rosenio until after the Spurs game. That's a heartfelt plea. So Huge is saying win. Where I've lost him. Huge is saying win. Rob is saying loss. Nathan is saying a Forest win, so a loss. The Mr. Arsenal podcast loss, because Forest win would be a loss for Chelsea. Roddy is going with me with a draw. Ray is saying loss, new manager Trent. Harold is saying a draw with me and Roddy. Sachin is saying a win. And Shem needs Chelsea to win here because it's against Forest. So Shem is feeling slightly conflicted on this one. But I believe is going for a Chelsea win. So let me see. What are we saying? So we've win, loss. Loss. That's 3 losses, another loss. 4 losses, 2 draws, and a win. 4 losses, 3 draws, and 2 wins. 4 losses. Good God, another loss. I think this one's going to be a draw. Lads, they're not going to lose every single game for the whole rest of the season. I mean, which is more likely? United win 6 in a row or Chelsea lose every game till the end of the season. To be fair, it's probably the Chelsea one. That is probably fair. Okay, I stand corrected. We've done Liverpool, Chelsea already. Chelsea, Spurs at home. Will Chelsea win, lose or draw at home to Spurs? Second last game of the season. Get it in the chat. Win, loss, draw. I think Spurs are going to be fighting tooth and nail at that point. I think relegation is going to feel very, very real. I think Forest and West Ham are going to be absolutely fighting for their lives. I think Chelsea could be in a muddle at that point. I think Spurs win. Therefore, I think that is going to be a loss for Chelsea, I think. Okay, so what are you guys saying? So Nathan is saying loss. Sachin is saying win. Rob is saying draw. So that's consistent. Shem is saying loss. Nathan, loss. Roddy is saying win. Harold is saying win. Ray Ray is saying draw. Mr. Arsenal Podcast is saying Chelsea, rare, win and relegate Spurs. Nathan is saying up the Spurs. That is a mixed bag. Okay, I'm going to have to count these because that is mixed. So, loss, win, draw. 2 loss, 2 wins. 2 loss, 3. 4 win, another draw. 5. Okay, win it is. They're getting a win. I reckon that one could even be, not only they could lose, it could be a draw, it could be a loss or a draw. I don't think they win that one. Last match of the season, Chelsea, Sunderland away from home. So win, draw, loss for Chelsea against Sunderland. Last game of the season. Shem, oh my goodness me, is that a real stat? It doesn't matter that we haven't won there since 1878. Spurs haven't won away at Chelsea since 1878. Is that real, Shem? Huge is saying draw. Shem is saying loss. Roddy is saying draw. Nathan is saying loss. Sachin is saying loss. And LinkedIn Liam gets sacked for failing to make it into the top 8. Rob is saying loss. Ray is saying loss and the Chelsea fan base melt down. Harold is saying win. Harold's with me. But quite clearly you guys have decided Chelsea are going to absolutely lose their minds. All of their players are going to break their legs. Oh guys. I think, to be fair, right, let's do what I would say. So I would say a loss, so that's 0. Let's say draw 1. I reckon 3, so that's 4. I think they could lose that and lose that. I reckon 5, 8. I reckon they get 8 points. I reckon they're going to be on 56. I reckon they finish around 56. That's still below everyone else. So that was it. Now, last one, and this is a bit of a rogue one. This is Brentford. We're going to include Brentford because they're just hovering and they're just not going away. And they're scoring a lot of goals. So, let's go to Brentford. This is the last one we're doing, and then we will look at the order. We're trying to find the matches in the Premier League. Okay, so we have done United, Brentford, 1, 2, 3. So we have done United to win, which means Brentford lost. I actually reckon I actually reckon that one could go any way at all. Brentford could win that. We've also Liverpool-Brentford. We have put Liverpool to win, which means 0 for Brentford. Again, I think Brentford are going to beat Liverpool. So I already have Brentford on 4 more points than the rest of yous, because let's say draw and a win. But let's go through the rest of them. So Brentford, Everton. Win, draw, loss for Brentford at home against Everton. And Roddy is straight in with a win for Brentford. So win for Brentford for Roddy. I reckon that's going to be a tough match. I reckon draw. Actually, when is Tarkowski back? When is Tarkowski back? Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. For Everton. Is that how you spell his name? Oh, so I was right in the first place. Thank you, AI. Hopeful for having a centre back in and around the squad for, let us see, for the home fixture against Chelsea this Saturday. Oh, so he's already back. Okay, that was useless. Thanks, Sachin. I should have just waited for your comment. He already played the full 90. Excellent. With me being away at the weekend, I am not up to date with the injuries and the returns. So yeah, I reckon draw for that one. But you guys reckon win, draw, win, win. And I reckon draw. So unanimous says a win. I reckon potential draw. But let's go with it, because I reckon over here they're probably getting points that you guys don't. So it'll balance out a little bit. Now, Brentford, Fulham. Brentford at home against Fulham. Win, draw, loss. I reckon Brentford win. Sachin, you have them in your FPL, so you know all about it. Do you know what? I like FPL and I do actually genuinely enjoy it, but I just see after the international breaks, I fall out of the habit and I never go back into it. That's my problem. So far, I said I reckon win, and then we have win, draw, win, draw, loss, win. Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Okay, win. That is a win. Sorry guys, I had to count it because we had a lot of draws. We've obviously already done the United score. Brentford, West Ham. West Ham, depending how their matches prior to this, may still be hoping, and also depending how Spurs are doing at that point, West Ham might still be hoping to get out of the relegation zone here. However, I think Brentford at home will be too much for them. I reckon Brentford win that. I think Brentford at home against West Ham, win, draw, loss, I reckon win. Sachin says win. Huge is saying loss. Let me wait for you guys. Shem is saying win. Shem is saying Brentford must win, but obviously the opposition is West Ham, so I understand the emphasis there. Harold is saying win. So far it's looking good for the win crew. Rob Always United is saying win. We're going to be anonymous here, aren't we? Win, loss, win, and I have also said win. That does make us unanimous for a win there, Brentford against West Ham. So we're giving them 3 points for that one. And then we get to quite a hard game. Brentford away against Manchester City. Now obviously it depends at this point how close are Man City to Arsenal, because that will impact how they play that game. But obviously we don't know just yet, so we're guessing. So let's go. Brentford against City. Win, draw, loss. Brentford away against Manchester City. Huge is saying draw. Sachin is saying loss. Shem is saying loss. Roddy is saying loss. Rob is saying loss. Assuming that Man City have made up ground on Arsenal and won their game in hand, I also think I would have to go for a loss on that one, which does leave us unanimously with a loss on that one. Harold is saying it is definitely going to be a draw. So Harold is agreeing with Huge. Harold and Huge agree on a draw. Unfortunately for Brentford, they're outnumbered, but we have noted their dissent to that decision. Nathan also comes in with a loss, which leaves us with Brentford against Crystal Palace, second last match of the season. Brentford at home against Crystal Palace. Win, draw, loss. I reckon that's a win. I reckon Brentford win against Crystal Palace. Second last match of the season. Let me know what you guys think. Win, draw, loss for Brentford. I feel like I'm a bingo announcer. Do you know when they say the number and then they say like 22, 2 ducks, or what's the legs? They've all little donuts. They've all little phrases for all the numbers. They've all little phrases for all the numbers. That's what I feel like. And then they say the number again to make sure everybody heard it. I feel like I'm a bingo caller. I've missed my calling in life. It's not football. It's not YouTube. It's not even retail. I should have been a bingo hall caller. I'm definitely loud enough. But what are you guys saying before I've absolutely distracted myself completely? So I said I reckon win. Huge says draw. Sachin says win. Rob says win. Nathan says win. Harold says draw. Huge said Palace love to sit back, so there won't be counters. Shem is saying win. And Nathan, yeah, Lou just strays off topic just to bring random topics. Do you know what it is? It's how my brain works. Do you see when I was like a child? Say if I was having a conversation with my mom, okay? And then the conversation would lull into a silence. I would go on the topic in my head and I would go through several steps and I would jump multiple topics and then I would say out loud maybe 3 topics later what I was thinking. And she would be like, what are you talking about? And I would be really annoyed that she couldn't understand what I was talking about when we were just having a conversation. But mentally in my head, I had jumped 3 topics. There's absolutely no way she would actually be able to keep up with me. But I was so mad as a child she couldn't. So all my life I've done this. I'm not diagnosed, but I'm convinced I have some form of ADHD because my brain just wanders away off. Sorry, Nathan meant a Palace win. And yeah, Roddy, that's it. Legs 11 in the bingo. Legs 11. I knew there wasn't a legs one. Thank you, Roddy. I would have had to look that up later. Thank you. So, right, let me recount. Oh, sorry, you did pop Palaces, Nathan. Sorry, that's my fault. So, let's do the final count until we see who is getting Champions League football next season with our very accurate predictions that we have made this evening, people. Like all the predictions we do. Right. So draw, win, loss, draw. So we've 2 draws, 2 wins and a loss. And then we go another win. And I reckon win as well. So that leaves us with wins. So we put 3. So by our calculations, Guys, honestly, we shouldn't be allowed to do predictions. This is ridiculous. Oh my God, Excel, will you just cooperate with me, please? Right, so according to us, Man United is going to finish third by a country mile. Aston Villa and Liverpool are going to finish joint fourth. Brentford is going to finish sixth then. So if this is 3 and they're going to be 4 and 4, that means Brentford would be 5 and Chelsea would be 6. So what we think is their final positions. That's not how you do that. So we reckon final positions is going to be United third, Aston Villa and Liverpool joint fourth, but that would make Brentford sixth, wouldn't it? Because it's fourth and fifth and seventh. So we reckon United, Villa, Liverpool are going to get Champions League football. Chelsea and Brentford are going to miss out. Now, I don't feel we have been entirely accurate with those predictions. I feel like we might have gotten 1 or 2 wrong. But I'm going to keep this, and at the end of the season I'm going to pull it out and we're going to have a good laugh. And what I might do is during the week, one of the other evenings, we'll do it for relegation. We'll maybe do it for, let's have a look. Who's at the bottom? Who was at the bottom? If we were doing it for relegation, we would do West Ham, Spurs, Forest, Leeds. We'd only do it for 4 teams. So I might do that. Another evening. We'll do relegation. I'll keep it here on the same Excel sheet, and we'll only do 4 teams. And at the end of the season, we'll look and we'll see how close we are. We might get the order right. Even if we've got the points tallies wrong, we might still get the order correct. So we'll have a look. Let me see what you're saying, and then I want to ask you if you want to do that. So Nathan is saying, Lou, I can bet you wouldn't require any form of entertainment because you are self-sufficient. I am definitely self-sufficient. When I was in school, one of my English teachers, bless him, he's passed away now, but he was a lovely, lovely man. Really, he was wonderful. And he told my parents she's going to be a writer because her imagination is so vivid. She's going to be a writer one day. So obviously one of my friends. What else? Yeah, Rob, we were a little bit optimistic. Roddy's saying, yes, we have, Lou. We're finishing third. Do it with Arsenal and City. Okay, so let us have a look. I've moved that down. So, guys, what I want to ask you, so obviously we're going to have lots of evenings in the international break, and I'll be quite honest with you, I just don't want to spend every single stream talking about transfers. It's not that we won't mention any of them. Obviously we know Salah's leaving, that's absolutely concrete, confirmed happening. I don't mind talking about something like that. If there's other things that definitely come up, we might mention them, but I'm not going to spend the next 2 weeks talking about transfers. I can't do it to myself, let alone to you. So in the chat, would you enjoy it if we did this style of a show again, but we did kind of the relegation and then we did City and Arsenal, exactly what we've done, their games for the rest of the season? So put yes in the chat if you've enjoyed it and you would like to do it again. Put no in the chat if it wasn't really your cup of tea. And that's fine. I'll not be offended if it's not your cup of tea. Everybody enjoys different things. But if I was to do another show like this with the relegation and then obviously for the title race, would you guys enjoy that? Just put yes or no in the chat, because there's no point in me doing it if you guys wouldn't enjoy it. If it's not something you'd like to do, I won't do it. I'll find other topics. I don't want to bore ye all to death. I found it was great fun, and I think it'll be really fun at the end of the season to look at how close or off we were. But again, you guys are the main thing. Like, you guys are the ones here listening and talking to me. So I want to make sure it's what you guys would want as well. And as I said, if you don't like it, I'm not going to be offended. I'm not going to be offended at all. It takes a lot. I worked for many years. Well, I've worked in retail for many, many years, but I also worked in a bookies for years, for a long time. So often I was dealing with inebriated people who were losing their hard-earned money. It's very hard to insult me because I've heard everything. So let me see what you guys are saying. Flossie enjoyed it. It's something different. It is something different. It's really fun. It's something different, and it's so interactive. Instead of you just listening to me waffle on, although I have gone off on a few tangents, you guys are so involved as well. Okay, so most people are saying yes, yes, yes. Bruce is saying yes there as well. Shem takes his tea with milk and 1 sugar. So if anybody's putting the kettle on, you know what to do. Brilliant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this saved. As I said, I've already saved. I'll change the title so I don't forget it. I think we will do maybe even tomorrow. What day is tomorrow, people? Yeah. Why don't we do it tomorrow? Tomorrow evening for the 7 p.m. show. Oh, no, guys, I'm lying. We can't do it tomorrow. I will have a show tomorrow at 7. It's not going to be a long show because Ireland play the Czech Republic in the qualifiers for the World Cup. So tomorrow, that kicks off at 7:45. So tomorrow's evening show is going to be a little bit shorter than usual. Friday, I need to double check if Kai is jumping on Friday because I know England play, so I don't know if he will be here. I'll have to double check. Maybe Saturday. We might do it Saturday evening. Definitely over the next few evenings, we will do that. So let me get rid of that. And I would like to thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being so interactive and taking part, because obviously it just wouldn't have been fun if it was just me making all the predictions. It would have been really boring. So thank you all so much for being so involved. I had a right giggle. I do genuinely think probably 30% of that stream is just me laughing. So if anybody's new, I hope you enjoyed that. Obviously, I know the rest of you are as crazy as me. Please smash a like on the video if you haven't done so already. As I said, we are hoping to get to 500 subs. So share it with the people you know. Maybe they will like it. Hopefully. And I will see you all tomorrow. I will be live at 12 midday tomorrow. I've no idea what I'm going to be talking about, which means it could be anything. So I will see you there, hopefully. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for taking part. Have a lovely rest of your evening, and I will talk to you all very, very soon.